In today's video, I'm going to show you behind the scenes of how I design a website mockup for Show It. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wine and Design. I only have a little bit in here because I literally just spilled it all over my desk. So we had a little bit of a tragic event happen just before I started recording. If you're not a wine drinker, by the way, please feel free to grab coffee, some tea, some water, whatever it is that you like to drink. In today's video, I'm super excited to show you guys another behind the scenes video of me designing on Adobe XD. So I know I said in the beginning of the video that this is going to be for Show It, and it is. However, with my process of website design, I always like to design the website on Adobe XD first as a mock-up before I develop it into a functional website. Many reasons why I do this. I actually go over a lot of that in my course. So if you're interested in taking my course, it's always linked down below. But yeah, I definitely like to design it first and then develop it. So today I'm going to just be designing with you guys and showing you how I start that initial phase of the process. And yeah, I'm super excited. This client of mine is something I'm so passionate about. She's going to be opening up a cheese and food shop here locally. So I'm going to be able to walk into the shop and see my branding in the flesh. And I'm so excited about that. But I'm also just really excited to have a website for her that is something she can be really proud of. And yeah, I have so many ideas for it, so I'm very excited. You're probably wondering though, why the heck am I going to be using Show It when all I preach about is WordPress? Well, to be honest, I have my reasons why I like WordPress, but I also like to kind of have the client tell me what they prefer, because if they are familiar with Show It or Squarespace or whatever it is they use, I want to make sure that the client is happy with the platform we're building it on. Of course, I'm going to share that with them, my reasoning behind why I like WordPress over all of them, but I'm going to give them the option to choose which platform, and that is why I like to get really knowledgeable with each platform so I know how to use them. Okay, so with that said, it's time to jump on over to my computer. I'm going to be screen recording and also kind of talking you through what it is I'm doing. Of course, one other thing I wanted to mention before we get into that phase of this video is when it comes to my initial designs that I send my clients, because this is my very first designs I have even sent my client, I like to only send over the homepage to start. The reason I like to do this is because I want to make sure I'm on the right path. I want to check in with the client. I really want them to feel part of the process, and I want to get all the feedback I can before I get way too far in, because that would really suck if they decide they do not like the layout or the colors or whatever it is, and I already designed home, about, shop, contact, that would just really suck. So I like to make sure they like the homepage design, and sometimes I will even give them a few different homepage designs so they can kind of choose which layout, which colors, which font sizes, whatever it is I change on those two versions. I like to send those over and give the client a chance to, say how they feel about it and give me all the feedback at this point of the process. So today I'm going to be showing you guys just the homepage design, and then I will continue to show you this project as we continue on with it and as I develop it on Show It. So I really hope you stick around for that, and you should subscribe so that you know when I post the next phase of this project, because it's going to be really fun. But with that said, let's hop on over to my screen. So to start the design process, I like to go look at the websites they showed me that their competitors have, and this client ended up liking this one website, which I'm not a huge fan, so I know we can do 100 times better than that. But I'm just kind of like playing around with images right now, kind of getting the overall top header layout kind of sorted out in my head. So these photos are actually not her photos. They are placeholder ones until she opens up her shop and we get some professional photos taken for her. But yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of just like sketching it out almost like I do with a logo, just to see how I want the top part to look when they enter. And you can drag down the page on XD just by double clicking on the page itself. Okay, so I wanted to go and she did send me some images, so I went through on Lightroom and edited a bit of them to make them look a little bit more, I guess, unique and a little bit better and brighter and just different. So I'm going to experiment with using some of those images she sent me, and I don't have a whole lot, but I think we can definitely work with those. So I'm kind of just getting an idea too of like how those images are going to kind of look with the brand colors we came up with. So I'm just adding them in here so that we can eventually play around with that a little bit more. Okay, so she ended up actually sending me documents with content in it, which is awesome. I love when clients are prepared like that. So I'm looking at the content she wants on the homepage, and she doesn't have a really large homepage, so I'm going to give her a few ideas in there of what we can do to make the homepage just a little bit bigger, because for Google purposes, it's actually important to have a certain amount of words on the page. I can find the exact amount of words that they recommend for SEO purposes, but I'm just really happy that she was prepared and was able to send me this. So we're definitely going to take advantage and use the content she wrote. And I'm kind of just looking through unsplash.com to find some other placeholder images, because the more I look at the one she sent me, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like we should have an image at the very, like as soon as you enter the website, that really just portrays cheese in a really like luxurious gourmet type of way. And I feel like the one she has, just it won't portray that well enough. So looking for some placeholder images, and yeah, we're gonna play around with that now. So I'm just gonna continue designing, and I will come back and catch up with you guys in a little bit.
The ocean is near, but you dug a hole and buried my fear. And we scattered like trees, sometimes in line, but I'm down all the time.
Okay, before I get too far ahead on the design, on Adobe XD, I like to set up my document assets. So one of the things I need to do is add in her color palette for the brand. That way it's easy for me to add elements and buttons and all of that using her brand colors. So I have her brand guidelines open on the left-hand side, and an easy way to add those colors to the document assets is to just add each color to the page itself. Like I'm doing right here, I'm just adding in those codes. Would have been a lot easier if I just copied and pasted it from InDesign, to be honest, but I'm just utilizing the codes that we set for her brand. And once I get all of those in there, then it's easy to just select it all and add the little plus sign next to the color drop down, and it'll add all of those in there automatically. So it's really easy, and I recommend adding those in the beginning. That way you have all the assets throughout your design process.
So say your tear, 'cause it's trouble by trouble by trouble by trouble now.
Okay, so just as I mentioned with the colors, I also like to add in all of the font types and the sizes of like the paragraph font, the H1 font, and also the font itself. So to do that, you just put the font in there, add the sizing, everything that you need about the font, and then you just hit the plus sign next to character styles. A lot of times I like to actually rename the character style so I know when to click it for body font versus H1, H2, or button font. So I know this is speed up, but I just wanted to mention that as well because that is another step I always like to do.
It's all trouble by trouble by trouble by trouble now. The trouble, the trouble, the trouble now. We were riding high. Do you remember? No one will deny. We were invincible, heading for the sky before we started falling. We were torn apart and then slowly coming to a halt. And we stumbled down upon our knees, so we started crawling. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars, shining upon wherever we are. No matter near, no matter far. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars. Waiting for the dawn. Where to go now? Where do we belong? Yeah, I know that we try to stay strong, but we keep on falling. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars, shining upon wherever we are. No matter near, no matter far. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars. I know there are stories, greater stories to be told. We will carry on and let the future unfold. We were torn apart and then slowly come to a halt. And we stumbled down upon our knees, so we started crawling. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars, shining upon wherever we are. No matter near, no matter far. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars, shining upon wherever we are. No matter near, no matter far. The darker the sky, the brighter the stars. Boys don't cry under the influence. You and I did not make a sense. Tell me why you're putting on a fence. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Endless game, when's it gonna end? We became what we should condemn. You and I
Okay, so now that we have the first homepage design concept, I'm going to just copy it by selecting the page and then pasting it down. And now it'll be easy for me to just change the colors and kind of just like move around the layout. I really just want to get an idea of like what she wants to see. And the more I was reading the questionnaire, she keeps referring to her brand as navy blue and bronze. So I figured for this concept, I'm going to keep it really modern and just use that bronze and navy blue color throughout it. So that's kind of why I give two concepts, because I want to see which one she's more drawn to. Okay, so now that the initial designs are done, I like to name it with version 1 on the file type. That way I know how many versions we've done. And I just send it over as a design review link so she can pin her comments. And that link is loading, and I will show you guys what it looks like when it is shown through the link. So if I scroll down, they can hide the comments if they want, but this is a really cool feature of it because you can actually like place the pins wherever it is that you want to. and then they can directly write notes on those sections. But this is what it looks like, and if you hit the arrow on the keyboard, you can see the next one. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming together. I'm so curious to see which one she likes better. Personally, I like the beiges, but we'll see what her thoughts are. So definitely stick around if you are curious what her feedback was. All right, you guys, that is how I design the first initial part of a website design using Adobe XD. Like I said before, Adobe XD is a really awesome platform. I recommend checking it out. But honestly, don't get so wrapped up in what platform you're using. If what you're using is working, that's amazing. I feel like a lot of people can get wrapped up in like, which program do I need, blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, if you're doing great work, it doesn't really matter where you're doing it. So that's just my 2 cents, but I do love Adobe XD and I recommend checking it out if you're looking for a platform to use for a website design mockup. One of the reasons I will mention that I love it is because you can send a link to your client, super easy for them to access instead of having to upload files to the email or whatever it is you do to deliver them. Super easy to do through a link, and they can even pin their comments on that link so you can see exactly where they're talking about their edits, because that can be a tricky part of a website design, is getting the feedback and really referring to which parts they're talking about. So yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned before as well, if you want to see the rest of this project play out, definitely subscribe and turn that notification on so you know when I post the next part of the process and when I show you guys how I'm going to turn it into a functional website on Show It, because that's going to be super fun. I'm actually really excited about it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you enjoyed it by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.
I'm hoping what I said could make you change your mind.